Hello and welcome to CPI and Speak, the official YouTube channel of the Communist Party of India, Marxist. Today we have with us Comrade Yousuf Tarigami, Central Committee member of the CPIM and former MLA from Kulgam. We are going to talk about the political situation in Jammu and Kashmir and how the administration is being run there. Welcome to this talk, Comrade. So let's start with the
Thank you.
Let's start with the fact that the government has been saying that there's normalcy in the valley, there's normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir. But the elections have still not been announced. There's no talk about election. What is happening on that front?
You see, as far as the claims of the government, not only of normalcy, but development, providing jobs and all that. So, the ground realities are contrary to the claims of the government. That's quite obvious. And as far as elections are concerned, I was a few days before, some weeks before, Home Minister of India said that earlier Jammu and Kashmir was having 90 members Legislative Assembly House. They were having representatives elected from assembly segments around 90 and 6 parliament members from that region. And we are the first to have conducted elections for panchayats and local bodies, and now we have thousands of representatives in Jammu and Kashmir. A big gift. First time for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Our countrymen can just understand it. It needs no explanation from any side. But I must reiterate, it's a big joke, and it is how the Kashmir situation is being talked about by those who are in authority, or how the Kashmir situation is being interpreted after 5th August 2019. I, at that time, issued a statement and said that if at all this is the model, that we have thousands of panchayat members, local body members, minus legislative assembly, why not to adopt this model in those pet areas of BJP like Gujarat and UP? If this is the model of democracy. And can you imagine that this is the only region? Elections were held in 2014 for parliament, and elections for Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir were also held in 2014, when this BJP-PDP coalition government was formed. And then afterwards, 2019 parliamentary elections were held. And in successive range, assemblies were elected in different states. And this is the only region in the whole of our country where assembly elections have not been held since 2018, when arbitrarily assembly was dissolved. There was no opportunity given to the legislatures to just try for formation of a government, a secular government. And that's why in a very, very desperate manner, the Legislative Assembly was dissolved, so that to open up the channels for doing what they did on 5th August 2019. Now, as you rightly put it, that they are claiming that there is normalcy now. If this is the expression, if this is the criteria of measuring normalcy, that you are denying the very fundamental, very elementary right to the people of a region to elect their legislative assembly member. And we must also understand that panchayats and local bodies are not legislative bodies. And still, as of today, the country, despite all the efforts by the BJP government to enforce a unitary system, to impose a unitary system, to weaken the federal structure, federal form of the government at the national level. But here in Kashmir, that has been given a good while. And the only area where we don't have a legislative assembly, we are holding elections even Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal, now Karnataka tomorrow and other areas. But again now, a few days before, all the political parties, major political parties, their representatives met Chief Election Commission, submitted a memorandum and asking for the intervention of Election Commission. But no response as yet.
So, Comrade, a follow-up question on this: that why do you think the government doesn't want to hold elections in Jammu and Kashmir?
It's not, you see, that's why that we must, they are known for distorting the facts. They have a record of, not only in Jammu and Kashmir, everywhere. And the countrymen must understand that as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, it has been now a routine for BJP to repeat the lies, to distort the facts, so that the countrymen do not understand the real situation which is prevailing in Jammu and Kashmir. They have a right to know what is happening there, what has happened there. And that is why when abrogation of Article 370 or when assault on the Constitution was organized by this bunch of people, curfew was imposed in Kashmir. Internet was shut down. No telephonic connectivity was there with the rest of the world. First time in history, in our history, parliamentary democracy. And still they said that nobody died here. And I had posed a question that to our friends here from media, when they asked me the question that there was no protests and all that, I asked them, have you ever reported any protest from? They are there. In prisons, there are no usually protests. They have turned Jammu and Kashmir into a big, vast prison. And that's why it's not an achievement. It is unfortunate part of our situation that one area where in elementary governance, they are being deprived from that right to exercise, to elect their representatives. And that's what is happening. Now, today they are talking about that peace is there, peace is restored, tourists are coming. Of course, they are coming, they have been coming earlier as well. Then for panchayat elections, there is peace, there is normalcy. For even 2000 coming parliamentary elections, Chief Electoral Officer said we are making preparations for that. But he did not mention for assembly election. If peace is there, if normalcy is prevailing there for other activities, and G20 meeting is being conducted there. So the question is, they are deliberately denying the people of Jammu and Kashmir from this right, because there is a reason for that. They can't face the electorate. They can't face the mandate of the people, the legislature. What they have done to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, they have discussed it here or not discussed it here in the parliament, but tabled certain things there, and they got the consent from their nominee. Even that time, nominee is today seen to be angry and talking something which he should have talked earlier as well.
So in this entire, as you rightly pointed out that without discussion, without taking into consideration, Article 370 was revoked, and after that, the government has been continuously saying that there's development in Kashmir and Jammu, there's We have given employment opportunities to people. But we are also witnessing that people are on streets asking for jobs. Wages are not being paid on time. So what is happening on that front? What's the employment?
I will give you one example. Now, earlier they were shouting that there was celebration in Leh, district of Ladakh, when that area was declared Union territory. Now, the same area, Leh and Kargil, earlier they used the stick of dividing them, Kargil versus Leh, Leh versus Kargil. Now, they got united through their own experience, not because of us, not because of Kashmiri leadership. Because of the experience when they were told that jobs will be provided, protection of land will be there, protection of their rights will be there, and you will be provided, given more rights, 6th schedule will be granted. Now, if they are satisfied, if those people who once were closer to them, seem to be closer, now they are on streets. We, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, I am talking about the political street, they have not come to Delhi yet to demonstrate, to come on the roadside. While has the people, the representatives, elected bodies, district development corporations, both from Leh and Kargil, they came here and protested at Jantar Mantar. We want justice. They are demanding justice. Justice on what? And as far as Kashmir is concerned, as I have told you, that they have gifted us with whatever freedom was earlier available, that has been snatched. Now, where is the media? Now, go to Kashmir and talk to the media person. They can't dare to talk to you. They can't share their anxieties and concerns. Afraid of, because PSA is angry over. UAPA is there. How many journalists are there in jail? Different jails? How many people have been they have dictated to the management of the respective institutions, organizations. Many of them, dozens of them, who were working people, working there in those establishments, organizations, they have been posted there. And again, who will report? And now, as far as freedom is concerned, there are people. Now, tell me in this whether it is UP, Haryana, which jail, Bihar, where the Kashmiris are not languishing. Just try to understand it, sir. People don't know much. So, this is the situation. Now, leave aside Kashmir. Kashmir has been angry. Kashmir has been on protest earlier and all that. Long history of protests. But what about Jammu? Now, even Jammu now, which has been considered to be a safe area for, so-called safe area for BJP. And now, they are on streets. Farmers on streets. Businessmen, the chamber, they are crying that there is no investment. They were talking about investment. Now there is investment. Now contractors are coming from outside. And Jammu people know that it is in Jammu region when Kashmiri Pandits first, later on joined by Dogra population, demanding protection of land rights and job rights, permanent resident rights. It was in Jammu, not in Kashmir. And then only then Maharaja Hari Singh in 1927 issued a notification, again one more notification in 1932, and finally a law in 1938, which later on, when the Constitution of India came into being, 35A came to be incorporated in the Constitution of India. And this is again for all of us. That's why there is a huge concern now developing in Kashmir, that was earlier too, in Jammu, in Ladakh, that we need protection of our land, we need protection of our rights, We don't need any encroachment in our rights, which we were earlier enjoying. And jobs, leave aside Jammu and Kashmir jobs and all that. What is the status of the jobs in the rest of the country? Tell me. Even those areas which are, that's why you see, that's why they are not debating on the floor of the parliament. The first time we are seeing there have been in parliament certain amount of debates earlier. I'm not saying that everything was.
This is a parliament which has seen the least number of active sessions in the history of India.
Yes, and there is no debate. There is no debate. Earlier it was seen opposition just making certain noises and all that, and the government was persuading them, facilitating and all that. Now it is government which is trying to impose restrictions within the chamber of parliament, within the four walls of the parliament, first time. And that's why it's not confined to one region, Kashmir, denial of democracy. Unfortunately, it is harsh at the end, but it is more and more now picking up in different parts of the rest of the country. Now, more reliance on ED, more reliance on CBI, income tax rates and all that, and no area of life is, whether it is a student, whether it is farmers, workers, media personnel, writers, institutions, universities, colleges, and all the stick is the stick of repression, harassment, polarization, dividing, using religion, using caste to divide the ranks of the working people, the people in general. These are the two sticks available with this regime, which they are ruthlessly using to deprive the people, or that these are the areas, these are the sticks which provide them some relief for the government, relief for their oppressive, exploitative policies.
Last question, Comrade. So, when we look at all these things and all these things that you described, what is the position of CPM vis-a-vis issues of the people, and how does CPM plan to take forward struggle of people in Jammu and Kashmir?
You see, again, I must tell you, as far as issues are concerned, there may be more issues. There are certain issues which are, I think, quite specific to the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. But otherwise, you see the question of livelihood, the question of better future, the question of jobs, question of good education, question of good environment of debate and discussion in universities.
Ensuring a democratic space.
And ensuring a democratic space that becomes the common concern of most of the people in the country. And CPM is proud of its record. They have been on the side of the people, and we will continue to be on the side of the people, come what may. And that's why we make an earnest appeal to all the sections of the population. There might be certain disagreements as well on certain issues, but nevertheless, there is a commonality. They are forcing us, the regime is forcing us to come closer to face this onslaught which they have unleashed against the people of India as of now.
Thank you a lot for giving us time. Comrade, will be continuing to talk to you about these issues in future also.